Hello, adventurers! I'm Gray, and welcome back to some more Dicey Dungeons. I don't know what accent I'm doing here, but I am in a good mood. I am feeling happy. It's a good time. It is summer for me now. School just finished yesterday. I guess you could say the day before yesterday because our last final was on Thursday. It was supposed to be on Friday, but we pushed that one back to do it earlier. So I guess I would be pushing it forward. I don't know what I'm saying. So basically we finished school on Thursday for our last final. Had 5 finals in the same week and then like 3 finals or 4 or something last week. I had like close to 10 finals this semester. It was rough. It was real rough. But I'm glad it's done. It's out of the way and I've made it through my second year of pharmacy school. That's right, I am halfway to being a doctor and I cannot believe it. It just feels like yesterday that I was in high school, to be honest. I don't feel much different. Apparently I know more. I don't feel like I do, but hopefully it'll show whenever I actually work. I mean, I've had good grades. Like, I have a 4.0, so I'm hoping I know something. Maybe. I'll pull it out whenever I need it. Alright, but next we have the inventor here. And the next mission is the inevitability of rust, or the next episode, you could say. So let's take a look at this.
In a damp and grimy dungeon, some of your equipment is bound to break eventually. It's lucky you're so good at improvisation.
That's my nerd voice. You like it? Rules? Don't create gadgets after each fight. Oh, so our main ability is basically gone. All equipment is reusable? Ah, okay. And all equipment breaks after 4 uses. Broken equipment immediately becomes a gadget. Okay, so basically, even though the inventor is already about improvisation, there's even more here, because once you use something up, it is gone. So the more you use something, the quicker it breaks. And then it'll become a gadget and then stuff like that. So we gotta be careful and not just spam certain things, because we're gonna lose our items very quickly if we do. I'm afraid of running into a situation where we don't have anything left to use. Let's welcome back the inventor, who wants to understand everything. Yes, I do indeed want to understand everything. Let's take you on, magician. Magician. I like your double rings. It forms an infinity when you bring it up, and that is very deep. You have infinite power is why. Okay, current gadget. All dice become a 6. Okay, do I want it to all be a 6? I don't think it really matters much, right? Short sword actually only works with like a 4 at maximum. So how about we duplicate this 4? Not that it really matters. Oh, I shouldn't use a duplicate because unless I need it, because it'll break after a little while. And that dice in the corner is a countdown timer on it. Okay. Does focus also break? It does. Okay. Well, I can finish him, so that's fine. It's fine. It works out. We're just gonna need to keep on picking up a lot of things very quickly. I do have, I think, like a comment or two to read real quick, so let me do that. Okay, yeah. So the only thing I wanted to read out is that the episode I was on last time, which was the 50-50 one of the robot, works a bit differently than in the past. In the past, you would be able to get the same dice multiple times, but if it failed, you didn't get the dice and it was a 50-50 each time. I don't know, maybe they updated it and changed that. I'm not certain. There's a lot in the update logs every time, and I don't really keep track of all of it. I just kind of go with the flow. Also, they're asking how I did on my exams. I'll talk about that in a moment. And then also, they said, item prices in the shops don't reflect the value of an item, they're just random. So, that actually really helps me out because I thought that the higher cost items means there must be some sort of value to it above the other items. And maybe I'm just not noticing what the value is, but it probably is worth more, so I should spend more on it regardless. No, that's not true. So the best items can be like the cheapest in a shop if you're lucky. So that helps me to determine what best thing there is to buy from a shop. Because if a really good thing is cheap, I should grab it, of course. And then I was also told good luck on my exams and all that stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It has been a tough semester. Tough semester. Tough year. But also a very good and very rewarding year. But let's see. We got a wolf pup here. We got a crossbow. Crossbow is going to take a lot to use. But we can do it. In fact, I'm pretty sure we could finish this dog this turn. If we duplicate this 3... Oh wait, it needs a 4 or more. Never mind, we cannot do that. Okay, because I could crossbow. But, you know what, why not? Let's just hit him with a crossbow. Actually, wait. Never mind, we can. There we go. Get out of here. Boop. Wolf pup. Look, even though I have to use my attacking moves and it's using them up a little bit, at the same time, I think that's better than taking more turns. Because I think the more turns I have, the more usages I have of my moves. And I'm going to use them up very quickly. And that's not ideal, because I want my things to last. Alright, Dryad. I'm not sure a Dryad is, like, the best monster to be having. Is it rude to call her a monster? She is a monster. I don't think a volcano is the best place for you to be at. Just saying, Dryad. You're gonna, like, dry up. Is that what you call it a Dryad? Because you're drying up in here? Probably not. Okay, let's duplicate this. Actually, do I need to duplicate right now? How about I just focus up? Actually, how about I do this first? And then I'll focus up these. I'll duplicate this. Oh no, I'll focus up. Duplicate a 6. And do a lot of damage immediately. Alright. So after we take her out, we're gonna have to adjust our build because we're about to lose some of our items. Ow. Okay. Did we lose something yet? No. We can use the crossbow. Or we can focus up and just do a hammer and a short sword, which is better. Probably using the crossbow, to be honest. We lost our gadget, but at the same time, it doesn't matter too much, because we'll get a new one soon.
You think you're so smart.
Wait, I've already read. Why does the Dryad always speak to me? I want to see some other dialogue. It's always the Dryad. Alright. Oh, none of them broke yet. Ooh. It's risky going into battle with this build, not gonna lie. How about I replace hammer with sword for now, just because I want to at least have something I can always use. And then I'm gonna actually, maybe I should strategically break things in battles rather than just trying to keep them all from not breaking. Because I don't want to get them all to 1 and then have them all break in the same fight. That is not ideal. Got some leather armor. Not going to worry about using it yet. Also, do I want to heal before this fight? I think I can handle Sneezy. I mean, I do have a lot of health in here, so it's not too big a deal, but... Let's see. So we have the sword, we have a crossbow, we don't have any gadget. Oh, I used my gadget that doesn't exist. Oh no. How about we duplicate? We can't actually duplicate that. This actually is not the best setup right now. Let's just do a short sword. Do a sword. And not use this one, because I don't think it's worth... Actually, let's strategically break the short sword to add a plasma gun. There we go. Because that'll allow us to do a lot more damage, and... Oh, jeez. That hurts. Okay, I do have focus just on me, so I can use that whenever I need to. But I don't think I need to. I think I can take them out. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I cannot take them out this turn, and I do not want to risk them getting 6s again. 2 6s. So how about we focus up, and we just crossbow and plasma gun. Actually, plasma gun first. Or maybe we double sword. Because plasma gun still has uses left. I'm not sure which is the best thing to do, actually. Because I kind of don't want to break things because plasma gun is still useful. I'm going to double sword. Okay, we're going to get back to full HP, which is good. But... Oh, grindstone. Increase all equipment durability by 1, but it needs a 6 to use. But I think for this setup, it's quite good. It's quite good. Okay, and that's already added to the build, which is nice. I'll replace duplicate for now with leather armor. Actually, I need something that can deal damage. I'm putting in short sword. Because I feel like sword and crossbow are going to break very, very soon. What have we got? Upgrade. Upgrade is risky, because whatever I upgrade is going to, like, break very quickly. I feel like that's not the best thing to use. Alright, let's take on Alchemist. You're going to turn into a bear. Alright, plasma gun immediately. Oh, I want a crossbow. I can't even crossbow, so it's not really a concern of mine. Oh, I forgot about... Well, you know, it's fine. I got to use it one more time at the very least, so I have another plasma gun now. And I did good damage this turn. Do I want to deal 2? Not really. Normally I would just go for the damage, but there's too much risk involved here. Okay, I've got to tank all her hits if I want her to turn into a bear, but do I really want her to? I feel like that's more dangerous than it's worth. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna take you out using the short sword now. There we go. Very effective. Alright, so I feel like now's a pretty good time to talk about school and how that went. So as I mentioned, this past year, and I know I talk about school a lot in Dicey Dungeons, but Dicey Dungeons is like a good place to just talk about random stuff going on in my life. I don't know, I quite enjoy it. I'm gonna grab Lament rather than Staff here, I think. Because Dicey Dungeons is pretty chill. You can kind of just relax, play some games, kind of talk about life in school, that sort of thing. My life kind of revolves around school right now. So it can be kind of boring, just because that's like the only thing I have to talk about. But you know what, it's better than me of years ago, where I had literally nothing to talk about. I guess other than like video games and anime. I am a nerd, just so you know. But school's been very difficult. P2 year, second year of pharmacy school, often regarded as the hardest year of pharmacy school by many people. Ooh, maybe I just throw everything in crossbow and just build that up for the time being. Let's do that. Like I said, I had like 9 finals in the last 2 weeks, depending on what you consider to be a final. Like, in our lab class, we have what I consider it to be like 4 finals in a way, but really, like, you could also say it's like 2 finals, because one of them is like has 3 parts to it. Depends on how you divide it, really. But our lab final was like the first ones we had, and it involved some OSCEs, which were basically interviews of patients, like SPs, standardized patients. Those are people who are paid to act like real patients. And so we had some stuff we had to deal with them. Ooh, I can make my stuff last a lot longer. Oh, but it's a little bit risky to do because it uses the grindstone up as well. Okay, that's fine. Let's try this. Oh, come on, I didn't want it. Oh wait, I can use it again. There we go, that works. Kinda. Boop, boop. But we had 3 of those. 2 of them were actually with the standardized patients. One of them was just like on our own. So we had one where it was like a new prescription counseling. So pharmacists have to counsel on medications they prescribe patients. And that basically is telling patients about what it's used for, how to take it, side effects you can expect, adverse effects, contraindications, so what you can't take with it, like what is not allowed to be taken with it. And that can include other drugs, or can include things like food, or for example, grapefruit juice commonly interacts with things. Stuff like that, and dosages and dosage forms like tablets or capsules, things like that. A lot of this goes into counseling. So we had like a list of 30 drugs we had to be prepared to counsel on and tell the patient all the info on that. And we also had to do a medication history, which is asking the patient about what they're currently taking, where they're getting them from, all their vitamins and supplements and things like that as well, making sure they're taking it properly and making sure the medication list has no typos or errors on it. Because oftentimes patients go from place to place, hospital to office, physician's office, and different physicians' places, and get prescribed different things from different people, and it's hard to keep track of that, but it's very important to keep track of that, because the patient could get harmed if you don't keep track of all that they're taking and prescribe the right things for them. Lots of nerd stuff in here right now, but that was 2 of our sessions we had. And then we had one more that was a SOAP note, which SOAP stands for Subjective, Objective, Assessment, and Plan, which is basically a way to record, like, it's basically documentation of things that you do as a healthcare practitioner. So it allows you to document sort of what the patient has, be it their condition, what they're coming into the office for, like their chief complaint, what their parents had in the past, or family history, social history, whether they're a smoker or a drinker, that sort of thing. That's like a lot of subjective stuff. Objective stuff is like labs, like heart rate, blood pressure, taking a urine drug screen, that sort of thing goes in there as well. Electrolytes, blood tests, that sort of thing. Everything goes into the labs, and that's objectives. And also the medications that they're on could be in subjective if the patient's just telling you, or it could be objective if you are at a hospital, for example, and see it directly administered, like you know that they're taking that, so that's objective. And then assessment is basically what their problem is at the moment and what the goals are for that problem. And plan is what you're going to do to achieve those goals, be it counseling them, switching their medications, adjusting the dose of their medications, that sort of thing. And a lot of it has to be really detailed in the soap notes. And we've done a lot of practice on it this past year. I'm nerding out right now talking about this stuff, so I'm not fully focused on the game. I need to adjust my inventory real quick. This is what I'm going to go with for now. Short sword, leather armor, a lament, and a counterfeit. And we'll see how this works out. Short sword's about to break, but it's fine. Who do we want to take on? We'll level up in 2 points. Pirate's a bit easier to take on. I took quite a bit of damage in that last fight, so hopefully this goes a bit better. We'll see. We'll see. But I was really nervous about those lab finals, but I ended up doing well on them, I feel like. I mean, I hope I did because I passed them all. Those were all pass-fail finals, which is nice because you don't have to worry too much about getting perfect scores in them. Let's throw this into leather armor. Oh wait, I can reduce by 2. Ooh, that's fancy. I can do plasma gun, of course. I can focus. Actually, let's do. Actually, this is tricky. I'm not sure what the best thing is to do here because I don't want to use my short sword and waste all that, but I can do a freeze on him. Actually, let's do leather armor again to really reduce the damage they can deal. Let's do this and do a lament on him. Oh, I forgot that I can use lament twice. I should have duplicated it. Oh, man. I keep forgetting. Like, I'm still not used to this setup. But it's okay. He's not going to deal the full damage because I reduced his damage by 2. So it works out well. I think I can get him fairly quickly. I can do... I'm really close to getting him. Actually, I'll get him. I'll short sword him, plasma gun him, and do a lament. There we go. Get out of here, pirate. Look, my goal is to kill you quick, get myself those heals. Yeah, and then our last lab final. And lab is the tiring course this semester, not gonna lie. Like, lab has been a lot of pressure, but I'm glad it's done. Our last lab final was last Friday, and that was a written final, 100 questions, covering everything we've learned throughout these 2 years. In a way, it's less of a lab final and more of just like a whole school final based on everything we've learned. And I think they add that to lab just so they can assess how well they've been teaching us overall, which is interesting. I'll nab a healing crystal, why not? Who knows, maybe upgrades aren't actually that bad if you like use them at the right times. I mean, I might as well take staff. I don't see why not. And then bump as well, okay. Let's see what we want to throw in here. We got a healing crystal in here. Do we want a healing crystal? Not really. I'd kind of like to throw in something that does damage, to be honest. But at the same time, all my stuff that does damage is so large. Okay, let me separate my stuff into sections. We have dice manipulation over here. We have increasing equipment durability over there. We have healing, so anything for longevity. So these are the things that deal damage. Staff, hammer, lament are my only damage dealing things. I could replace counterfeit, put in a hammer, and put in a duplicate. That way if I get a 6, I can duplicate and just do lament and hammer and just swap between the two. I think that might be a good thing to do. Alright, bully. A lot of people did really poorly on that cumulative final, though, which makes sense, because we learned a lot of stuff, like a lot of content. But I somehow ended up doing alright on it, surprisingly. I didn't think I did whenever I submitted the exam, but by the end of it... Oh, duplicate all dice. It's not... Actually, I should have paid more attention to what's running low on my builds. At this point, if I'm going to be like... Here, let's throw this in here. If I'm going to be using up my stuff, I might as well duplicate it. I think I might be screwed. I don't think I have anything that can damage them. Oh no. I didn't have enough damaging items. Well, he's not going to be able to do much, at the very least. Oh, I shock you, at the very least. I'm not going to put anything into that unless it's a 6. But I think I'm screwed. I think I messed up real bad. Ow. Now what am I going to do? Can you give me like a Pokemon struggle move, please? Okay, well, this is a problem. Can I kill myself, please? Heck yeah. Look at me go. Woo! 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 Yep, I've learned the hard part of this this episode, so that's the problem. Heck yeah, get froze. Actually, wait, I can run! I forget I have a run button. Oh gosh, get out of here! Run away! Okay, please don't. Oh no, he's gonna kill me. Oh, I should have ran earlier. Can I do damage before I run? Why do you get all 6s too? Come on, game. Come on. If he hadn't got 2 6s or a 6 and a 5, I would have lived. The game's like, he's trying to run. Let's finish him. Alright, it's time for revenge on Bully. Take him down. My build right now is pretty much all damage. It could have been full damage, but I kept that one duplicate there because my current gadget of shield is about to run out, so I figured might as well just keep it around. Now, my problem with my build right now is that I really can't use 6s on it. Actually, never mind, I can now. Last battle I was in, I didn't show it on camera, but I couldn't really use 6s, but I added the shovel, so I guess I can use it now, because I keep forgetting I can keep reusing things. Let's just do one of these. Or do I want to add more shield? Just add tons of shield? Why not? Add tons of shield. Won't let him damage me at all this fight, because we're getting revenge on Bully, and he is not allowed to touch me. Yeah, he did a lot of damage, so I'm glad I did that. Can keep on barricading, and now we can duplicate this 4, and we can duplicate all dice. Just have a ton of dice. Do we need that much dice? No, but we're doing it. Might as well. And actually, do we want a shovel, or do we just want to keep on plasma blasting him? Actually, I don't want to use it up. Okay, let's see. Evens are what deal damage and spike shield. Boop. Now let's shovel. Actually, do I want to use one of them up and just like, do I really need a cloning device again? I'm going to actually use up Plasma Blaster and just add a Plasma Gun. There we go. Because I have a lot of cards now that I can use to replace whatever I lose. Let's see. So this is my current setup. Got some staffs, got some laments, a lot of damaging things. Lockpick's the only one I have in backup that doesn't... In fact, basically my entire build is stuff that does damage at this point. Let's add a spike, and let's add a short sword into here. Actually, do I want to add the short sword? Short sword's about to break. These are running a bit low as well. I'm a bit nervous about this setup. Let's throw in a staff. Staff does a lot of damage. So we're going to have 3 things that deal damage. It should be enough to kill something, hopefully. I hope so. I hope so. We need some more smaller things we can throw in there. Let's see, what do we got in here? We got boomerang, we got leather armor, we got crossbow. 2 times to yourself. I might grab a boomerang actually. Let's grab a boomerang and throw that in. In place of staff, we'll put in a spike. Get out of here, staff. Put in a spike and a boomerang. Even though it damages ourselves, it might be worth it for that 2 times damage. We can just use it rapidly, do a lot of hits. But yeah, as I was describing earlier, lab final, 100 questions. I did well on it. I got a B on it, so like an 86 or something around there, or an 85. Can't remember the exact score. Which was quite good, considering how I've heard from my classmates that they were terrified of the score they got on it. Fortunately, it was a very low percentage of our class grade, so it didn't impact us too much. Like I said, I think it was more for the school to assess how they're teaching us, and I apparently did quite well, so I'm happy with that. And then this past week, I had tests in law, pharmacy law, which I hate the class because the material is super boring, but I also love the class because our teacher for that class is great, and they do their best to really make it fun, or at least as much as they can. But it's a dry class. Like, I hate law. I do not want to be a lawyer, and I would never be a lawyer. But yeah, it's required and it is important because we need to pass a law exam to be a pharmacist anyway. I had my finance final, which is a business class in my MBA program, because I'm doing a dual pharmacy master's in business association or administration MBA program. So both at the same time. So I had a final in corporate finance as well, which is a pretty tough class. And then let's fight Super Triad as our last battle for this video. After that, on Tuesday of this week, I had my final in MedTerms, which is Medications and Terminology, which is a class that I tend to struggle with because it is a pure memorization-based class based on memorizing the details of 300 most prescribed drugs. And it is difficult, in my opinion. There's just a whole lot to remember in there. Somehow, though, I did quite good on it, and I'm happy with that, to be honest. Like, it was actually, the score I got on this final in that class was the highest score I'd had in that class, which I found to be interesting. I did study, ow. Actually, I can shield myself and then do that, and then I basically protect myself, so that's pretty nice. But I got like a 95, or closer to 96 on that, which is my highest exam score in that, which is strange because it's cumulative. Like, it keeps on adding more material as time goes on. And so we've covered more than we ever have on this exam. And somehow I did better than I ever had. I did study quite hard for it, though, to be fair. And also, I feel like I'm starting to understand the material, not from studying it for that class, but just from learning about drugs throughout other courses. And that really helps with this class as well. So I feel like that helped out a lot. Just like learning stuff throughout school has helped with that class in general, which is really nice because I used to hate that class and now I think it's okay. And then Wednesday, Wednesday we had our clinical pharmacokinetics exam, which pharmacokinetics is basically the way drugs are processed through the body. And that is an exam that everyone was worried about before it happened. So everyone kind of suspected that there were going to be problems with it. I'm going to strategically use up my spike shield right now. There you go. Get out of here. Everyone was... Shut up, Dryad. I always hear what you have to say. But everyone was concerned about it because that class only has 3 exams throughout the semester. So they're very spread out. 2 regular exams and a final. And because of that, people put it on the back burner and don't look at the material for a long time. And then once it hits, there's a lot of material the class covers. So you have to study everything in a very short period of time, especially for this final where everyone's studying for other exams. So people are really only studying for each one the day before the exam because otherwise it's too much material to study. And there's just an overwhelming amount of material in that class that people haven't looked at for weeks and weeks at this point. And so a lot of people did really badly. In fact, so badly that our teacher emailed or messaged me, private messaged me because I'm our class president, and he was asking like, so what exams were like before and after this one? Because the exam score was really bad, and I want to figure out the reasons why. And I had like a conversation with him about that, which was interesting. But there are many reasons for it, mostly because people, like I said, put it on the back burner and hadn't looked at the material in a while. So I told him that it would be helpful if in future teachings of this course, they would refresh us on the old material before the final. That would help out a lot. But it was a 3-hour long exam, and it was 3 hours of pain. Like, I was in that exam the whole time, up to the last 10 seconds when I turned it in. And when I checked who else was still taking the exam, it was still about half the class taking that thing. And it was a lot of math, because pharmacokinetics is basically our math plus pharmacy course for this year. So it was a lot of math, and it was a lot of work, and it was very difficult, and a lot of it, like, I thought could have been clarified a lot better on the exam, and there are some questions that I don't even think were on our notes. So we didn't really know them. Somehow, though, I ended up getting a 95 on that exam, and I don't know how. Actually, I think it was like a 95 and then it got curved. Actually, no, that was a different class I got a 95. I got a 95 on renal, which is like the kidney course that we had the final exam on Thursday, which was our last final. I did really well on that one, surprisingly. That one was a tough one, but I still did good on it. But then the PK one that we took on Wednesday that I was just talking about, I got a 98 on that exam. A 98! I do not know how I got a 98 on that exam, considering how the class average on it was terrible, like in the 70s. But I somehow did. And that stacks up to me getting a 100 on the first and second exam of that course. So my final grade in clinical PK was a 99.5. A 99.5 was my final grade in that course. I did not know how. They also, like, our teacher dropped the lowest homework grade, and there was only one homework grade that I got less than a 100 on. So basically my average for our homework in that class was also 100 because of that, so it adds up to that. And then also, they gave quite a few bonus points on the exam to help students because the exam score was just so poor that they had to do something to help us out a little bit. And some questions were just poorly written anyway, so they really needed to do that. But, I don't know, I did exceptional. I'm certain that I'm the top scorer in that class, 100% out of all the classes. And that goes for PK last semester too, because we had introduction, like basics of PK last semester, and then we had clinical PK this one. Both of them I did really well on. Both of them the class average was really terrible on. So I don't know. I think I just get math a little bit, and I get PK, and I really enjoyed the teacher that we had for PK in our school. But I'm a weirdo who likes PK. Like, less people like PK than people who like law, and I didn't like law, but I like PK, so I'm weird. But yeah, that's my story of how I did the best in the class at PK. Other than that, didn't do the best in the class at law, that's for sure. But I got an A on it in the end, just barely. So that's fine in my books. I'm keeping my 4.0 right now in my second year of pharmacy school. My goal at this point is to keep a 4.0 throughout pharmacy school. Because third year, I've heard the classwork is not as hard as second year. So if I'm not able to keep a 4.0 in it, then I have let myself down. I'll do my best to do that. If it doesn't, though, if I don't manage it, it's not the end of the world. Grades aren't everything. I don't know. I can taste it. I can taste getting that, so I want to try and do it if I can. But yeah, that is basically it for this episode of Dicey Dungeons. Went on a bit longer than expected because I was telling stories. But yeah, I really enjoy talking about this stuff, so hopefully you all do too. If you did, I'd appreciate a like, comment, or subscription. It really does help. That's all for now, and I hope to see you on the next adventure.